Courtesy of Banggood.com, they were nice enough to send me out this Mirarobot S60 FPV. It's a whoop style quadcopter, so let's get the box out of the way and see what it's all about, shall we? And here it is sitting right here. Now it has underneath, we'll start from underneath, it has a 25mm VTX with a linear antenna, and you have a little button right here. Now that little button, if you press it once, changes the frequency, and if you hold it for 2 seconds, it will change the bands. Okay, now that's that. You get a 600 TVL camera at the front, and it is 120 field of view. Now I had a small problem with mine, and the problem I had was when I plugged it into my goggles, it was upside down. Now, and I was quite confused. And if you look underneath, there's a little gap. Now, the reason why there's a little gap there is on the top side of the camera, there is a button, and that button flips the camera around. So what I had to do was unscrew the 4 screws that you can see underneath here, and turn the camera around, and it was still in a funny position. It wasn't upside down anymore, it was the opposite way around. So then I turned it the right way around, and I pressed the button until I got it eventually the right way around. So keep that in mind. If you get one with a camera upside down, it's not. There's a button hidden under there that you need to press to get it the right way up. Now, as we're under here, we'll go to the motors. The motors are 615 motors, coreless motors, and they run at around 53,000 RPM. Excuse me. So plug and play, easy to replace them, which is really good indeed. The props themselves are 30mm in length, and from motor shaft to motor shaft is around, I think it is 62mm, yes. And the total weight of the quadcopter itself is 27 grams with the battery. The battery itself is here, and that weighs in at 6 grams, and that is, as you can see, it's a 1-cell LiPo. 200 mAh, 3.7 volt, 40C LiPo battery, and that comes with your normal type of micro JST whoop style plug, and with that you obviously get a charger for it, a USB charger to charge it up with. Now I fortunately did get one with 3 batteries, so that was good. Flight time on the quadcopter is around 5 minutes, give or take. I was flying in freezing cold conditions, so that wasn't very good. It took a little while for the battery to heat up, but I kept them warm, and the batteries do heat up really quick. Anyway, it has 2 modes that you can fly in, which is angle mode, and it's something like an acro mode, but it's not quite an acro mode. It's kind of strange. But I think the biggest problem to it is because you can't adjust the camera, when you tilt the quadcopter, you are facing the ground. Now, I've seen other people fly in this so-called acro mode. They have not flown for very long, and they've crashed, and the way they've crashed is face down. Now, and the way I crashed was the same, face down. And now we know it is because you can't move the camera, it's fixed. But I'm sure that can be modified. The range in that you could fly it, well, they say with the transmitter is around 120 meters. Let's get on to the transmitter itself. At the back it takes 3 AA batteries, and you've got thumbsticks. Now I'm not a great fan of thumbsticks. I am a pinch and thumber when it comes to flying. But what I did notice was you could take them off. And the good thing was, I recently reviewed the Flying Frog, the Eachine Q90C, and that came with sticks that you had to put on your transmitter. They fit perfectly. And also, if you have the Eachine DM002, you can also use those sticks. So if you don't like the thumbsticks, change them round. So that's what I did. Right, now let me just take them off and put the proper sticks back on, just for show. On these buttons here are your trim buttons for obviously this stick, and your trim buttons for this stick here. Your calibration of the gyro is this button, so just leave it on a flat surface and press and hold the button and recalibrate it. You obviously need to make sure everything's on. And you can also recalibrate the sticks, what I have not tried yet, which is this button here. Your on and off switch here, and on this side you have your bind button. So if you ever lose bind, what you want to do is turn the quadcopter on, press and hold the bind button, push on, turn the transmitter on, and it will automatically bind up, and that should be you. On the other side you have your mode button, so you'll obviously start off in angle mode, and then you will eventually go into that acro mode that I'm telling you about, but it's a custom firmware acro, you know. That is it for the transmitter. I've found it's best suited for flying indoors. It's not really great at flying in dull light, which you'll see. I'll give you a little 20-second clip of me flying around the living room, and there is light here, but the camera doesn't pick it up well. I did fly it at 2:30 in the afternoon, and it was already beginning to get dark here in the UK, which is because it's winter time, and the picture is very dull and there's no colouring. What I did notice is the camera looks really good in the sunlight. It picks up the colour really well. I flew it in the morning just around 11 o'clock, and it was frosty. The ground was frosty. It wasn't picking up the colours very well at all. And angle mode flies fine. As soon as I went into that acro mode, I did what everybody else done. I flew it for a little while, and obviously I seen too much of the ground, and boom, into the ground. So I really didn't like that mode at all, but it's a great little quadcopter for beginners, and it's a great quadcopter for indoor flying and also for outdoor flying when there's no wind around. I think you would need a little bit of practice in that custom acro mode, and fix the camera angle, and things would work out a lot better. So there you have it. All I can say is thanks to banggood.com for sending me this out. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and happy flying, and keep on flying, my friends. Flying around here in the living room, I'm flying line of sight without my goggles on, because what I had noticed was when I had my goggles on, it was very dull. There was no colours whatsoever. After I'd watched it, I played it back on my monitor, I was like, oh, something's quite off. The camera really isn't as bad as what it looks like through the goggles until you play it back. So I think now we'll go to a little bit of outdoor flying, so enjoy the outdoor flying. Let's start off in angle mode. We'll get a slight breeze out here coming from the left. I'm fighting against the breeze here. You can see the sun glaring. It's handling pretty well just now. Not too bad at all. Now I'm getting pushed by the wind. The grass, it's quite frosty at the moment. Feels good. Dipping down, which I love to do underneath those pole wires, as you very well know. It does feel a little bit lacking in power sometimes, but that's only to be expected from a tiny whoop. Excuse me. I've got a frog in my throat today. Yeah, not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. Quite a nice little flyer when you're outside with it. There is a little breeze, right? I think we'll land it here and we'll put it in this angle mode and see how it goes, see how I fare on it. Whoa. Feels a little bit wobbly already. I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's touchy. It's not like acro mode on your own quadcopter with a real transmitter. It feels kind of strange. When I want to make it go fast, it kind of bobbles and points towards the ground. It's strange. Well, that's custom firmware for you, isn't it? It's manageable. Whoa. Just. I'm needing to concentrate a little bit here. But it's not too bad. Every time I tend to want to fly forward, as you see, I'm looking at the ground and I don't like that at all. It's kind of really off-putting. You know, it makes me feel like I'm going to crash. Then I'm flying like a slug here. It's a bit wobbly. Be alright if you could adjust the PIDs or add some expo or something, but oh, oh, right, I've crashed. Okay, luckily we crashed the right way up. As you can see, the grass is nice and frosty there, and up we get. Camera's a little bit wet. I don't know whether to bring it in or not. It should be okay, I think. Yeah, I think I'll just bring it in and check it out.